This is a big and heavy case, and it can charge your iPhone wirelessly, but it can also handle this.
So let's check it out.
There's no getting around it. The giraffe in the room, this is a big frickin' case, but for good reason. It sports a hard polycarbonate outer shell that houses about a 5000 mAh battery. The case is based on the Rebel series, which is known for its toughness, and it definitely shows here too. It's got a softer liner on the inside that covers up a wireless charger inside, but otherwise nothing special to look at. So popping an iPhone in, the first thing you'll notice is the size in the hand. Manageable, but girthy. Taking a closer look at the buttons, they are covered in a softer flexible rubber and they are raised. Decently clicky, nothing to complain about here, and that goes for the opposite side too. There's a large meat rocker cutout, it'll definitely fit any chubby fingers, and a large and deep cutout for the camera. Nothing that'll get in the way of your shots, but it's great for keeping your lens scratch free. Now the first benefit of this battery case, it doesn't occupy the lightning port of the iPhone. The cutout is fairly large and shallow, so you shouldn't have any issues with cables, and the case itself charges through its own USB-C port because, well, it's 2019. Around back, there's a button with a single press you can indicate the power status through its 4 LEDs, while double pressing will activate the case's life purpose, its wireless charging capabilities. Ta-da! So you may be wondering, what makes this case special? Well, thanks to Apple's courageousness to remove the headphone jack, compiled on you being too poor to afford wireless earphones, you kinda need the lightning jack if you plan on listening to any audio privately on your iPhone. And so since the case doesn't have to occupy that space, it allows you to freely charge and listen at the same time. Double in because that means you're not adding any extra height, since the iPhone XS Max is large enough on its own to manage single-handedly. The less stretching, the better. Although it's hard to ignore that extra weight the case adds around back, almost tripling in thickness, although on the bright side it doesn't add much thickness around the sides. Something to keep in mind for you tiny hand and pocket users out there. Even with the smooth rounded edges around back, it can be a struggle carrying this around. It's definitely more manageable and less noticeable on smaller devices like the iPhone XR though. The edges have a flexible rubber finish with a slight pattern on them. It doesn't do much in added grip, as I sometimes can't even reach my fingers around to grasp it. Plus a smooth and slippery back doesn't help either. That's why I highly recommend adding your favorite finger grippy thing. My go-to is a pop socket, which this matte black fits in perfectly. I don't have to reach my fingers all the way across anymore, and it's way more usable one-handed. The size and weight of the case is really evident when you put this inside your pocket. It may be mistaken for something else, but you'll definitely feel the weight and girth of it in there, although there aren't any issues getting it in and out thanks to that smooth finish. Now let's talk battery. First, you can charge the case through USB-C and pass through that to the iPhone wirelessly. Then while having both charged up, like we saw earlier, it frees up the lightning port for your headphones of choice. That's the number one use case I'd imagine this case solves: charging and listening at the same time. Now, how well does that wireless charging work though? This is my iPhone XR. It's almost dead in battery and I'm charging it for about 30 minutes. And with some movie editing magic, wazam! It started at 17% and ended at 28%, with about a quarter to a half of the battery in the case drained. Do bear in mind, when charging a completely dead battery, it does take a lot more juice to get it going when compared to something already at 60 or 70%. And like I've always said, wireless charging means slow charging. The case does slightly heat up with extensive use too, so I recommend leaving it in the open to air out if you do plan on charging for extended periods. But the neat thing about the case is that it's basically a portable wireless charger that can charge anything that can be charged wirelessly. That includes your new fancy AirPods and even other Android phones, as there isn't a proprietary jack on this. The case is a wireless charger wrapped up in a tough outer shell jacket, which brings me to my second use case you'd want this for: protection. While most battery cases are bulky as well, this one's bulky for a reason. That hard plastic shell is based on their tough Rebel series case. Combine that with the ribbed interior edge design to disperse impact, and it doesn't end there. The free tempered glass screen protector included in the package. It's an all-in-one, baby, so let's stick this sucker on. And well, bam, it's nothing fancy, but as the saying goes, something is better than nothing. Not bad when combined with that front screen protector and the oh so slight lip to keep it all raised up. Let's see how it really holds up though. After all that, the case still charges, there aren't any signs of breakage on the case or the phone, and the screen protector is still intact. Bulkiness for a reason, I tell you. Now for those that are bound to ask, you can't plug your iPhone in via lightning and also charge wirelessly to get a double boost. I don't know the science or magic that happens, but I believe the iPhone only triggers one or the other to charge through to avoid a Samsung Note 7 debacle. So pick one, ditch the other, and figure out if you really need that extra battery while staying protected.
If solid protection and an open lightning port is what you're looking for in a battery case, then you could save a whopping 25% with my coupon code down below. I am curious to know if you like using slow charging, I mean wireless charging, so leave a comment down below if you do. I rest my case.